I appreciate everybody's patience. Sorry, we got a lot of people on campus today, which is a good thing. I thought it was a great turnout. Our crowd was amazing as always. Really enjoyed the fact that we got to, really appreciate the military today and what they do for our country. But overall, happy with the performance. There's certainly some things we want to clean up and fix, but I thought you get a good indication of a little bit of the product we'll have this season and where we can get better moving forward.
Was the plan always to have Bo play into the fourth quarter? Did he kind of change that plan? What was the plan there?
Yeah, so that's the plan. We're going to play football today, try to get better at football.
You've been around Marcus and Javon before, but when you actually get to spend time on the field and see them like interact with the guys and stuff, like what do you pick up and learn from them, or just like how's that kind of evolve over a year and a half here now?
Yeah, I asked them some questions about their experience here as players and reflecting back on it. We got to meet a little bit. Those are two outstanding men, right? Not just outstanding football players, but outstanding men, and they're a great, great piece of our program. They've built something special here, so we're valued and grateful that they came back.
Did Cole Martin, over the course of spring, give you confidence in terms of if you have to lean on him in the fall, because we see what he does today, fans are going to get very excited about that. Did he give you the kind of confidence after 15 practices that you could trot him out there at the start of September?
Yeah, Cole's a good player. I think he's exactly what we thought he was going to be. He had great spring practice. He's super competitive. I think what makes Cole special is he's the guy that's going to be up here at 6 a.m., getting an ice bath, doing the extra. He knows what's required. Obviously, he's a coach's kid, so he does a little bit extra from that standpoint too. But I think he had some highlights today. I'm sure he'll say he had some stuff he wants to improve too.
How do you feel like Ty handled about as poor start as you could handle for the first quarter, but then he finished with like 300 and something yards and looked really good in that second half? How do you think he just handled that first quarter and progressed?
That's football a little bit, right? We had some batted balls early, some adversity early, didn't complete some slow starts, and then be able to get some shots there at the end. I think that was big.
Dan, there's some key breakups from guys like Ty Sheem, Evan Williams in the end zone and stuff, Dante Manning. How happy were you with the physicality from your secondary today?
Yeah, I think we're a more physical team. I think it starts really up front, but it certainly carries over to the back end. We have some guys that can make plays on balls, which is a positive.
What's been different about year two Bo as opposed to last year when he was new in the program?
Just the ability to be vocal and know that he doesn't have to wait for somebody to say, hey, go ahead, say it, right? He's willing to do that and has done a good job of that.
A lot of fans probably leave with great impressions of Tez Johnson. Is this the kind of stuff that he's been showing you all spring that you knew that he could just bring this kind of impact to the offense?
Yeah, Tez has speed. I think that's shown up. He's got burst. I think that's shown up consistently throughout spring, and that's why he's here.
I feel like it's operationally just getting plays in and that kind of part of it.
No issues getting plays in, but we got to operate faster, right? We got to have a little bit better sense of urgency, a little more tempo. I don't think that really showed up today like we wanted, but we'll get that right.
Bryce Betcher was in the mix a lot today. What did you make of his performance, and is he heading over to PK Park right now?
Talk about impressive people. Like I said, I hope we have a camera following you today, Bryce, because he's headed to the park right now. I was pushing everybody in the locker room. He's like, Coach, is it okay if I said, go play the game. You're good. So you guys got to keep me updated on how he's doing, but he's had a great baseball season. Certainly a valuable Duck.
Tez and Chris play together today and just the spring. It feels like they could play together on the field at the same time.
Yeah, most of our offensive players play together. So, I mean, I know what you mean, I guess. Yeah.
Not in the slot.
Yeah, they can. Our wideouts need to be able to learn all the spots, right? And we always talk about position versatility. You don't have to be one or the other, and the more we can do, the better we are as a team.
Do you see Trayshawn as more of a YA receiver than on the outside, or is it just like you're just talking about?
Again, we want guys that can be able to do multiple things, and we're going to have different sets, different groupings that make us the best. So we'll put them where we need to put them. But when you split teams up in a unique way, you put guys in some different spots that they probably don't practice all the time, but it's good for us to get that look.
These days where you're all over the place from the very start of the morning, do you journal at the end of the day, or how do you kind of catalog what happened or organize things?
No journal. I probably need a journal. I got an iPad deal that I keep notes in, good notes, and I guess that's the same as journaling, but I mark down some things that we want to improve, grow on, have the 365-day reminder for next year when it comes around.
Early impression of Austin Novosad playing in front of a huge crowd at Austin. How do you think he did today?
Yeah, I know he completed his very first ball. I want to go back and watch the rest of his performance, but I thought he was calm, cool, and collected. That first series he went out there, I don't know if you guys even realize this, but Marcus was calling the plays for that series. Marcus wanted to throw it every down, so I'm sure Austin was fired up about that. But I thought what I saw of Austin is what we've seen all spring, that he's picking it up and starting to grasp it.
What did you think of the performance of the special teams at this stage?
Yeah, I have to go back and look at it. I know almost all of our kickoffs were really consistent, and through the end zone, we had one penalty out of bounds. Punts, I thought we had a couple location issues and distance issues, but want to go back and look at it a little bit closer before I say.
You had a lot of
Say it again.
Letter grade you would give them?
I wouldn't give one. Undecided. I haven't graded their work yet.
You have a lot of freshmen on the defensive line, get a lot of reps today. Who do you feel like is closest in that group to being game ready, and what is key for them over the next couple of months to put themselves in position to be game ready?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to say that. Again, I got to go back and watch this film. There's 22 people out there in the field at a time, so I have to go evaluate it. But we do have some freshmen here that if they're ready, they'll play. If they're not, they won't. So there's certainly a chance to compete. We have some good players here. Let's see if they can get them ready.
You had a few big yards after catch plays today. Just what did you think of the wide receivers' ability to be able to break free in those corners?
Well, I think that's required to win football games, right? You have to have that. Explosive plays and turnovers are the biggest indicators. So you get explosive plays when you can break tackles. It's not always a 60-yard pass, right? Sometimes it's a 5-yard pass that turns into a 60-yard completion.
What are your biggest questions at the end of spring? I know you got Monday, but what are the questions that you feel like are still facing this group that you want to answer?
Well, do we really truly have the depth to play as many players as we'd like to play? Go back and continue to evaluate that. How do things sort out really on the offensive line for us? I think we have to take a hard look at that and figure out where we're the best there. And there's just a lot of pieces, right? A lot of pieces of the puzzle.
What do you think of the environment today? Maybe the only place in the conference that consistently has like a true game day experience for a spring game. You mentioned you got a lot of guys here on campus to see it.
Yeah, that's what makes Oregon, right? Our experience here on the West Coast is unlike any other, and it's an event for the entire day, right? So certainly helps us when it comes to having great players on campus, but I think they got to get a sense of what the game day environment's like at Autzen.
When you guys go about shaping like your fall camp schedule and then how like you kind of want that to look like, is it just something that's set every year, or is it kind of customized depending on the team that you have?
Really both. Right, so we have a plan, and then we modify the plan based on our player loads, what kind of players we have, where we think we're at as a team.
You've got a couple of scholarships to work with in the portal up until tomorrow. Is there certain positions you've got on top of the priority that you guys are looking at to potentially add?
Yeah.
Do you care to share with
No.
them? Okay.
How was the draft?
It was good. It was fun. And I think a couple of our guys got drafted again today, so really excited for those guys. I'm sure that we'll have a few more that pop, but you get to see guys living out their dreams. So I know Noah and Sala got picked up here while just right around the spring game. I don't know if there's anybody else that's gone.
Jordan and Forsythe just got picked.
Oh, great. Those guys are all deserving players, and they just need a shot somewhere. So excited to see them get their chance.
What does the next week look like for you? Is there a chance for you to kind of take a second and breathe and maybe relax a little bit, or are you still going full go recruiting and
Well, here's where I'll say, there's certainly things on my schedule. I've got a schedule, but this is really tough on the next few weeks is our assistant coaches. They're going to go out here on the road. They're going to be away from their wives, their kids, because they're going to be on the road recruiting, and then we'll come back on the weekends and be hosting recruits. So we're really grinding all the way till you get to July. Once we get to July, we'll kind of have a deep breath.